let's just make a little start to chapter 9, which is just going on with the list of all the 64 activities. And devotees, would you believe that the very next one in the list is one should not tolerate blasphemy. Maybe someone's trying to tell us something. Yeah, okay. So let's just have a look at this then. Blasphemy. So what does Srila Prabhupada say? What's there in Nectar of Devotion about blasphemy? Chapter 9, well, it's further considerations of devotional principles. These chapter names were just, to my knowledge, invented by the devotees. Anyway, it's okay. So, all right. So Prabhupada says, one should not tolerate blasphemy of the Lord or his devotees. In this connection, in the 10th canto, 74th chapter, verse 40 of Srimad Bhagavatam, Shukadev Goswami tells Parikshit Maharaj, my dear king, if a person, after hearing blasphemous propaganda against the Lord and his devotees, or his devotees, so if a person, after hearing that, does not go away from that place, he becomes bereft of the effect of all pious activities. Yeah, in other words, it is, you could say, ruinous. It is ruinous to hear blasphemy and to do nothing about it. It can be severely damaging even if you do something about it, actually. But if you don't do something about it, it is ruinous. Means you will or can or will become ruined in your Krishna consciousness. And then even if you try to go outside Krishna consciousness into material life, you will not do well. I mean, nobody can do that well in material life, but you will really not do well. So now in the second paragraph, let's have a look at the second paragraph. Well, let's read it. In one of Lord Chaitanya's Shikshastika verses, it is stated, the devotee should be more tolerant than a tree and more submissive than the grass. He should offer all honor to others, but may not accept any honor for himself. We all know that verse. It's the third verse. Trinadapi, Shanichena, etc. So, Prabhupada continues. In spite of Lord Chaitanya's being so humble and meek as a devotee, when he was informed about injuries inflicted on the body of Sri Nityananda, he immediately ran to the spot and wanted to kill the offenders, Jagai and Madai. This behavior of Lord Chaitanya's is very significant. It shows that a Vaishnav may be very tolerant and meek, forgoing everything for his personal honor. But when it is a question of the honor of Krishna or his devotee, he will not tolerate any insult. There are three ways of dealing with such insults. If someone is heard blaspheming by words, one should be so expert that he can defeat the opposing party by argument. If he is unable to defeat the opposing party, then the next step is that he should not just stand there meekly, but should give up his life. The third process is followed if he's unable to execute these above-mentioned two processes, and this is that one must leave the place and go away. If a devotee does not follow any of the above-mentioned three processes, he falls down from his position of devotion. Hare Krishna. Yes. So the point is, and we've given a lot of emphasis to it this evening, the point is that blasphemy is very, very serious. And if nothing, particularly if nothing is done, if you just listen to it and carry on with your life, its effects will manifest. Just like that verse we read a little earlier about chanting. You know, your heart is steel framed if when you chant, tears don't come from your eyes and so on, like that. So that means you've committed offenses. And that's like the result, that even though you're chanting, and you may be chanting and chanting and chanting, but no like really solid progress is being made, you're kind of just more or less in the same position as before. So that means you're committing offenses. That's the result of you having committed offenses. In regard to blasphemy, of course it's one of the offenses, or say one of the offenses. But the effect is so serious that if you don't take some action, then your Krishna consciousness will become undermined quite seriously, and you will feel it. You'll feel it, and you'll know something is wrong here. But because you didn't do anything, or at least so far you haven't done anything, then it'll be very difficult to overcome whatever that effect is. Only really when you do something like we mentioned to offset the effect, then things will pick up again if you do it very sincerely. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.